Hello, my name is Adam, and I have the Bally website, which is a website devoted to the Bally Astrocade. I am going to be showing you in this video how you can load Bally BASIC programs, specifically AstroBASIC programs, into the MAME emulator, which now supports loading of tapes. It didn't do that until about the end of March 2019. Here's how we get started here. First, this is my website, as you can see. And I've started a thread on Atari Age in the Astrocade subforum called Astrocade MAME Tape Support Now Officially Supported, which is what this video is about. And this video is not going to go into how to set up MAME whatsoever. I've already created a video on how to do that. If you want to know how to set up the MAME emulator, you can start checking out this video, which is on YouTube. It's called Setting Up Astrocade Emulation Using MAME. It takes about half an hour to watch, and it will get you started and going through all the steps. This is the video here on this page. It basically, let's see, is there anything specific? I think it shows you how to load some cartridges. At this time, there was no support yet for the tape at all. And I gave a $100 bounty, which I posted on March 15th, 2019, to the Bannister.org forums, which are some forums for MAME, and I just asked, hey, is anyone willing to try to add tape support for AstroBASIC and Bally BASIC and the expanded basics like Blu-ray BASIC? And I didn't check back for a few days, but little did I know, let me go down to this here. Someone named Just Desserts, who has been a member of this forum for 10 years, responded that day and said he'd like to give it a try. And the next day, he had already accomplished it, and to some degree, he wasn't finished, but he got it going in such a manner that he could load up a program that's in the Bally BASIC manual called Anti-Aircraft Gun, which really impressed me. So, Just Desserts, you are awesome. I can't believe you were able to work on it that quickly. Now, if we go to the top of this page, you'll see that there's about 5 pages of posts here. You don't really necessarily have to look through this, but if you find this kind of stuff interesting, you'll see that a lot has talked about how it was sort of how it was accomplished and what isn't supported. So here's what's supported. You've got MAME, which will now load up AstroBASIC programs and save AstroBASIC programs. Blu-ray BASIC, which will load up 2000 baud programs, and I think it will also save. I don't think I've tested that yet. I might either make a separate video about that or add it to the end of this video. This MAME does not yet support Bally BASIC, the original BASIC with the separate interface, although Just Desserts did work on that a bit, but he was having some trouble because the MAME emulator doesn't work 100% speed. It works, it's a little off, and so the Bally BASIC interface, the 300 baud interface, requires it to work at 100% speed. So, as I said, if I go a little too fast, it's because I presume that you already have MAME working. I'm not going to show how that works. To save some time, I have this emulator. I'm going to start it from a window here, but or from a DOS prompt. But before I even do that, we are going to download some programs. And to do that, go to my website, ballyalley.com, and you can go to programs. You can see here, programs. And we're going to download some 2000 baud programs. I picked a few programs to download already, and they are going to be a video art program called 4D2, which is pronounced 42, and it's going to be right here. I'm going to save that to here. Well, I've already saved it here, so we don't have to save that one, but we will save a couple of others. We're going to save one called a video art program called Electronic Blank, and that is, let's see, I'll do a search. Electronic Blank, that's going to be here, so save that target. And we're going to save or load a program called, let's see, M3 Plus, and that's by Stanley Kendall. This is also a video art program. The reason I'm using some video art programs is because this emulator using BASIC runs a little bit slow, about maybe 85% speed of normal. I'm not sure why that is. Some people talked about it in the thread. You're welcome to look at it. And I'm going to load also my favorite program, which is called The Pits. It's really kind of not very good looking. It's by Rex Golding. I had an entire podcast that me and my friend Chris covered this game. Um, if you're interested in the game, check that out. And I'm going to load another game called, let's see, what is it called? AstroZap, which is by George Moses. So we'll go here. And I'm doing this while you're watching on purpose. I know it might slow down how this works, but now that the emulator will support loading tapes, it's important to know where to find them. And they're on this website, and this is how you download them. His program here is called AstroZap. It's also a pretty good program. It actually won the best program of the year in the Arcadian for the programs that were printed that year. And let's see, we'll save this one, save target as, and we'll save it there. And finally, we're going to do a miscellaneous program, which is another sort of video art program, which is really, really slow when it draws to the screen. However, I'm loading this one specifically for one reason, because I'm going to show you what happens when you run the emulator at full speed. In like warp mode, it's going to run like 400 times faster than it normally would, and the program finishes pretty much instantly. And normally it can take like 10 minutes to draw a screen. So that's pretty exciting. So that program is called, is it here? Mod, let's see. We will find that program. Okay, this program is by Dan Sandin, and it is called Mod 2. And it was printed in a book, actually. So let's save that and save it there. Okay, so I got my three windows open. Or besides this window, we have the tape support. If you want to check out more about this, you can go to the subforum on, so you'd go to Atari Age, subforum, gaming, then classic gaming general, and then the Bally Alley Astrocade subforum. And you'll find a link to the video that shows you how to set up MAME and a little bit about what this program is discussing here. And for additional information, you can go to the bounty which I provided to Just Desserts, and also, as I've already said, this video which you can watch at any time to show you how to set up MAME in general. Alright, let's get started. So first we need to go to where my emulator is. We will close this window. Let's close all the windows, in fact, and we will bring up the Astrocade. So what I did, this is the Astrocade emulator. It's actually MAME, of course, which supports the Astrocade emulator. I've made a folder in here called AstroBASIC, and if I open it up, here's where the programs are that I've saved. Just recently, 4D2 you've got here. You've got AstroZap 2000 by George Moses, Electronic Blanked, which is also for AstroBASIC, M3 Plus by Stanley Kendall, Mod 2 by Dan Sandin, and The Pits by Rex Golding. So let me extract all these here, and I don't need all of these programs, of course, so I'm going to search for just the WAV files and cut those out, put them here, and I don't even need all of those. So let's see what we've got. We don't need all of them. We'll just get the ones we want. We don't need any betas. We don't need any text files. We just want alright, so these are basically the programs we've got. We've got 42 WAV file, which is right here. We've got AstroBASIC WAV file. We don't want that one. We have a WAV file for Electronic Blanked. We have the WAV file for M3 Plus, the one for Mod 2, and the Pits. So I'm not going to double click on the emulator to start it, because I have a couple of defaults that I wanted to start in. I wanted to start it as a window. I wanted to keep the asterisk ratio correct. I want no filter to be on. I want it to automatically start in AstroBASIC with the cart, and I'm using the 64-bit version of MAME that runs under Windows 7 and others, of course, but I'm using Windows 7. So I'm starting up the emulator, and now here we are in AstroBASIC. as I've talked about previously, this is going to be running in MAME, and I already have a keyboard set up, a 24-key keyboard that I set up a long time ago and will work fine, so I can type rather easily. So the first thing you got to do is we'll have to mount a tape. So let's mount a tape. Now, if you press the Tab key, you'll get this special window. In fact, before I even do that, I'm going to make this full screen. So now let's press the Tab key and go into the File Manager. And, oops, excuse me, go into, File Manager. There we go, File Manager. Now you'll notice something different. We are running MAME 0208, which was first released on March 27th, 2019. This is the first version that supports the Astrocade with the cassette. There is something totally new. When you go from this previous menu, when you go into File Manager, it used to be you would only see a cartridge and you could choose a cartridge. Now you also see cassette, and now we can choose a cassette. And we're going to choose, which one do we want to choose? We'll choose, what would be the best one to do? Let's do M3 Plus first. There's the WAV file. So as you can see, the one highlighted in yellow, this one here, is the WAV file that we chose. Now it's mounted, and we return to the previous menu. And what we need to do is we need to go to the tape control, and this is something else that was not available before. And we have some options what we can do with this tape. It's about 18 seconds long, and we can pause it, stop it, play it, record, rewind, fast forward, and go to the previous menu. We're going to escape out of this menu by pressing escape. And we're going to get the recordings loading by pressing colon and input. Something I should show you real quick. The words keys on this under MAME are a little wrong with the colors, and this is not the fault. This is nothing new. This is not anything that was introduced recently. But the colors are pretty close, but some of them are really off. Like if I press the green key, the background turns green, beautiful. If I press red, it turns yellow, not right. If I press blue, for the blue key, it turns like a purple. If I press yellow, it's supposed to turn like gold. It turns a bright, bright yellow. This can be a little confusing when you're using BASIC, but hopefully at some point this will be fixed and it won't be a problem. So let's get back to where we were going. So we press the blue key, which turns it sort of purple, and we press the colon, press the yellow key, press input, and we press go. Now we bring up the tape controls and we say play, and we'll notice it starts playing and you can see the numbers going by. I'm going to press escape, and you can see on the screen it's showing the tape loading, and which is not something you've ever been able to do from MAME before. So thank you, Just Desserts. You are awesome. I appreciate this very much. The best $100 that was ever spent by me. So the program's loading, and it takes a little while to run, but it's just making random video art. As I said, this program is by Stanley Kendall, and it's worth a look. The program is running about, I think this one might be running about right speed, but it varies a little from the program. I don't really understand why yet. Hopefully that can be fixed at some point. You can also make the speed go super fast by pressing the insert key, which will make it go as fast as it possibly can. And now it'll change colors. And there we go. I'm making it go really fast. But I'm going to halt the program. And what I can do if I want, I can clear the screen. I can take the note time and put it to 0. And this will turn off the sound, and it makes listings a little faster. And I'll list the program, and there's the program. So as you can see, it loaded from a WAV file, which was just a recording from a tape. That program was actually archived digitally, but essentially that's what it is. And this program loaded just fine, so I'm super excited about this. I'll halt the listing. I'm not even going to halt the listing really. I'm halting it. I'm going to reset the system, pressing F3, and I'm going to load up 4D2, which is a program which is written in machine language. I haven't actually tried loading a machine language program yet, but it loads into BASIC, so let's hopefully see if it works. So now we have to go, remember Tab brings us to the File Manager, we need to choose a different program. We're going to choose 4D2. I can actually use this here, and it is mounted. I can go to the previous one, go to tape control, which I'm not going to do yet because I have to start loading the program. So the program is ready for input. It's expecting the tape player to start now. Now, I thought this was a little awkward when I was first doing it. I was like, wow, man, this is kind of hard to do. Well, actually, it's not any more difficult than using an actual tape player. So now we start the tape playing. I'll press escape and you can watch it load up. This program was originally written for Bally BASIC. It runs okay in AstroBASIC. I think the sound is a little wrong, but this has to do with AstroBASIC and Bally BASIC differences. Yeah, the sound shouldn't sound exactly like this. I might actually adjust this in post. So you can see more colors on the screen. That's about it. This program loops for a while. Now let's get out of this. All right, enough of that. The program's pretty loud. It sounds much better in Bally BASIC. Unfortunately, it can't be loaded here in Bally BASIC. It's not supported, which hopefully at some point it gets supported. So let's load up Electronic Blanked, which is another video art program. And File Manager, we will load up Electronic Blanked WAV file. It's by Dieter Heinerman, and it is ready to be input. Press go. Go back to tape controls and go to play. And escape out of this. And I don't know if this one autoplays or not. It might actually have to be run, which is just fine. If I remember correctly, I think I typed this one in and archived it myself. There's several hundred programs available for the Astrocade written in BASIC, and you can now try many of them in their emulation, so that's pretty great. I'm going to do a clear the screen. I'm going to just list this program. I think it's really short. Whoops. Let's clear the screen. Let's list it. Now, short, but that's it. I speeded it up so it would list very quickly. And now let's run it. Now this program runs slowly. It's random. You never know what you're going to get each time. And I'm going to speed it up just to give you a hint of what's going on. Or maybe I should let it run. It really should be going a little faster than this, but not too much faster. It's a pretty slow program. I think it's basically drawing random boxes and such. I will speed it up a little bit. I better not get used to that, actually, because if I get used to it, I might see myself not being able to use it on the real Astrocade, and then I'll be like, what am I going to do now? Something that's pretty neat about looking at the screen here is I'm so used to RF interference that it looks perfectly clear under emulation, which is a little disconcerting. The colors are a little off. I can't tell that while watching this program because it's choosing random colors, but I'm so happy to see this actually working under emulation. I've wanted emulation to support the 2000 baud interface for a long time, and it's one thing to be able to load up a program. It's quite another to be able to save. I don't know if this will open up people to actually trying to write their own programs in AstroBASIC. That'd be pretty neat to see. I'm just going to let this program finish up, and then maybe I'll run it a few times really quickly to show you what you get. And now it's going to run over itself many times. I'm going to run it very quickly, see what we get. I'm not sure if I like it that way. I wish I could run it like 200% or something like that. But I will reset the system, and I'm going to now load up the Pits, which is a program that was written in AstroBASIC, or Bally BASIC originally, so it runs a little fast in AstroBASIC, so it might run just about the right speed. I'm going to use my Atari 2600 controller to actually play it. So I've got to first mount it. Let's go to the File Manager, go to the cassette, and click down. Whoops. There we go, the Pits WAV file, and return to previous menu. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong key. That's what happens when I'm looking at the screen and not what I'm doing. Colon input, And we have now got to go into tape control and play. And oops, I guess I chose the wrong one. So let's stop what's happening. Let's just press reset. Oh, it's still interesting. I haven't done that before. Let's go to did I not get there? It is. I chose the zip file, I guess, instead, and go to here. Here. Let's start up the input of the program. Let's go to tape control. Let's press play. Escape out of there. The pits. Now, this program looks very primitive. AstroBASIC is able to load programs and use programs which look much better than this. But this is an early program, and it doesn't take advantage of much that was discovered later on in the newsletters and such. Let's run it. I guess I'll enter my name, and my name is Adam. So let's get going. Let's see how terribly I do. And so these are my pits. I start up at the top left corner, and this is me, that little dot. And I just have to make my way to the lower dot in the corner here. And I'll be shocked if I do it the first time, but who knows, maybe I will. And this program is a great example of what makes a game fun. I'm going to deliberately crash into it. So I do want to play again. And this program is very, very short. If you're interested, you can listen to my me talking about this with my friend Chris in my podcast. I should be quiet while I'm actually doing this here. Let's see if I can reach this. I'm trying. I mean, I'm not trying to emulate it, or excuse me, I'm not trying to make a video of this, of this game in particular, but this is one of the reasons you might want to try loading up some of these games. I mean, sometimes I wonder if anyone can appreciate these older games that look so darn primitive, and they do look primitive. But it's a fun game. It wouldn't matter if this was. All right, here's where I got to be careful. Oh man. All right, let's see. Am I gonna make it? And okay. Oh man, this doesn't look good. Now this part has a little bit to do with luck. Can I make it? Make it, make it, make it. Ah! Alright, well, I should say I'm determined, so I am going to try one more time. Rex, your game is pretty fun. If you ever get a chance to watch this video, I know you wrote this game about going on 40 years ago now, but it's available for people to play now under emulation, which is, if I could tell you how excited I am about that, I guess I can't really express it. Alright. I can do this. Oh man. Come on. This makes me want to do a review of this game. I've actually written one, or recorded one, but it was, alright. Ah, crap. Alright. As you can see, for me, being able to run these games under emulation is why I wanted the emulator to support it. And here I am trying to show you a video about how to load the games, and I'm playing the games instead, which is not the point, but I guess kind of suggests that maybe it was worth it, loading up these games and adding support. I mean, okay, I can do it. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, I got it. Okay. 41 moves. That's a terrible. Usually I can get into low 20s, high teens. I think my high is in the teens somewhere. I'm not going to play this again. In fact, I'm going to halt the program. And just for giggles here, I'm going to set it to defaults. And turn off the sound. Turn off the background. and or the sounds here. And I'm going to do a listing real quick. Clear. And this is this entire program. I'm letting it load up here just because now it's possible, like you load up this program, you're like, you know, there's something I want to change about it. And this program is very short. It doesn't take up that much of the 1.8K available in BASIC. Oh, and did I say BASIC only has 1.8K available? Fortunately, there are programs that or hardware on the Astrocade that are supported under emulation that add more RAM. I think up to 64K is supported, and most users did never have expansions, but some did. There was a BASIC that supported it, which now those programs can be loaded, and I have done that. It works quite well. So those are the four main programs I wanted to load up. Now I'm going to load up a program called AstroBASIC 2000, which is a clone of Space Zap, an arcade game from the 1970s. So that's that program. I'm going to now reset. I'm going to go to File Manager, and I'm going to choose Space Zap. Did I not load it in here? Yes, I did. AstroZap, sorry. So I've got that going. I can go to the previous menu and input. Start my tape control again. Hopefully I'm not boring you to death with how this works. And it takes about 19 seconds. Oh, let's see if I can load it faster. Oh, wow. Well, I just loaded the tape instantly. I guess that's a great option. Now, here it's expecting to be able to turn the knob. I have my mouse set up to be able to do this. I'm going to have one player. All right, so I'm going to have arrows coming at me from the top, bottom, left, and right. Here we go. Now this program is running a bit slower than it should, but it does work. All right, I like the as you can see, it's starting to get faster and faster. Excellent. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, come on. It starts getting quicker and quicker. Okay, I got it. Now it's going to get a little faster. Eventually it gets so fast that you can't keep up. And that's going to happen pretty quick. Now, AstroBASIC is kind of... I missed that. Oh, wow. I actually pressed up by accident and then got it at the last second. Good for me. Alright. Yeah, so you get the idea. Woo! 10,000 points. Talk about lucky, Adam. Now, yeah, not lucky at all. Not lucky at all. Alright. I'll play this just a little bit more, get whet your appetite. Oh, that would have been my last one. All right, I'm going to halt the program. I'm going to clear the screen. I'm going to list it. And I'm going to do it very quickly. Oh, he's got the scroll mode set to a different mode, so I can halt it, and I can set the scroll mode to something else. I can say scroll mode equals 0. Now if I try to scroll it, it's going to scroll properly. I guess I didn't list it properly, so clear. Oh, what am I doing there? Man, this is what happens when you are not very good at typing on one of these 24-key keypads. So we're going to go clear. Oh, semicolon. List, and now it shouldn't it should scroll properly. Okay, so this program is pretty long. It takes up, I think, nearly every single byte. So I'm going to go quickly to show you the whole thing. And that's it. That's the program. Let's do a reset, and I'm going to load up one more program. And the reason I'm loading up this one is it draws a screen very, very, very slow. I mean, painfully slow. But I'm going to show you warp, and this is like a great example to use warp, and I've used it before and it works great. This is a very short program too. So it's called Mod 2. It's by Dan Sandin. He's kind of a legend in video art. And Mod 2 is here. Let's load that up. And we will return to the previous menu, get out of there, input, and get to the tape controls. I wonder if there's shortcuts for this. Play. It's supposed to take 17 seconds. Let's just load it up quickly. All right, it's done. I'm actually going to show you this program first because it's very short indeed. List. That's it. That's the entire program. It's actually the equation of a circle. It doesn't look like the equation of a circle, but it's written in BASIC, so why should it? So I'm going to press run now, and I'm going to let it run for probably maybe a minute. And what's going to end up happening is you can see how long it takes. You're like, what is this doing? It's not drawing anything random. It's actually drawing some circles spreading out like it's in a drop. When I first discovered this program at the end of 2018, maybe in the autumn, I was typed it in not knowing exactly what to expect, and I was shocked to find what this program does. Like, you're looking at it going, what is it doing? It looks like it's just drawing garbage on the screen. Well, if you wait about 5 to 10 minutes, you'll get a picture. It's always going to draw the same picture over and over and over. You can actually change the equation of the program if you wanted to, and I've done that, and I've gotten different pictures. But it takes a long time to draw. What happens now if I press the insert key to go to warp speed? It still takes a long time, but check it out. You're starting to see some circles. Look how fast this program is running. Look how long it would take to actually load. I'm going to let it finish up here. That is pretty amazing. It's such a short program. I love what it finishes up with. I'm actually going to end the video here, and I might continue it in a second here. You might see some credits and stuff like that, or you might see me loading up some extended BASIC programs in BlueRAM BASIC. But now, is that a cool looking program or what? All right, enjoy. I actually forgot to show you how to save a program, so I will do that now. I've already actually typed a quick program. This is a thank you to Just Desserts for adding the ability to save programs. I have already turned off the timer, so I typed in nt equals 0. So that will let the program list a little faster. And also, when I run it, it will run a little faster because it's not playing the notes with each letter. So let's get started here. Let's run the program, and we'll get something going on the screen. I'm going to press halt right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep this to save. So in order to save, you type in :print, so :print, but do not press go yet, which is the enter key on the Astrocade. So go to tab. We need to create a file. We're going to call this file a cassette. If you go up here to create, you can see there's a way to create a file, and it's going to save it in your directory for MAME or whatever directory you last accessed, which that's my one. I'm going to call it thanks.wave. I'm going to say create it, and I'm going to go to the previous menu. Now I have to start recording, so I'm going to say record, and it's recording. So I press go. It's going to take about 19 seconds or something like that. And I've tried this in like warp mode by pressing the insert key, and I actually had some issues. It works fine if I do it this way, and I can use warp in order to actually load programs, but I've had some issues trying to save this way, which is okay. It only takes 20 seconds to save. The program is still being saved, so it's just saving space at the end there. So I got to go back to tape control and press stop. So I can actually edit this program later if I wanted to, but now I have to press rewind all the way to the beginning, return to the previous menu, and don't press escape too many times, by the way, because you will get booted out of here and lose your program. So right now we're going to do list, and here's our program. So I'm going to reset the system and do list. Our program is gone. I've got the no timer back to 0. So what I want to do is I want to say :input, and press go. Now I'm going to go to tab, say tape control. I'm going to say play. And let's get in here. And it's going to take 33 seconds, or not quite 33 seconds to load it, but more time, because remember at the beginning of this quote tape is a whole bunch of empty space, which is just silence. So the way the Astrocade records is anything that was on screen when it was recorded, it will show you. And as you can see, this is working just fine. And now it's done. I can actually stop the program from still loading. So go to tape device and say stop. And let's get back to the previous menu. Return to the machine. Now, if we do a list, or let's do a clear. Oh, and something that happens when you actually load up and reset it, the note timer will be set to whatever it was when the program was saved. In fact, all variables will be set that way. So let's run it. It actually did just fine. So I'm going to end it with this. I'm going to say one more time, thanks to Just Desserts. You did a great job in order to allow us to be able to use the Astrocade emulator in MAME to be able to save to quote tape, or shall I say WAV files. Great job, man. Thank you.